Hey everybody, Mr. Barnett here once again. I'm making this the day before. They haven't made any kind of announcement yet, but just in case, it's NTI Day number 7, which I don't know if it would harrow me to my core, but I would be very surprised. Anyway, in case we have an NTI Day, I'm going to go ahead and put the third section of the first chapter up on Google Classroom, along with the associated questions. It's just kind of a little introduction to what we'll be talking about for the next week or so. It'll be different methods of arguing using ethos, pathos, and logos. I think it's actually in the order pathos first, so pathos, ethos, logos. Of course, pathos, you guys are probably familiar with this by now. Pathos is the use of emotion in an argument. We usually associate it with sad things, right? We want to do a little activity in class and take a look at some heartbreaking, grab you by the feels type of commercials. That's kind of some of the most talked about uses of pathos is in advertising. Those commercials, especially around the holidays, where they show something very, very sad. This time of year especially, people looking for tax write-offs and charitable organizations needing donations, they show you some pretty sad stuff, like a hound dog here about to drag me through a barbed wire fence. If I show this dog in slow motion with Sarah McLachlan singing In the Arms of the Angel, or whatever it is they use now, I think it's Oh Holy Night, I think is the last one that I've been seeing, in slow motion, and he makes a pitiful face. Dougal, can you make a pitiful face? Look here. See, that's how obedient bloodhounds are. Anyway, this dog spoiled rotten, but if I put him in slow motion with a sad song playing and said, won't you help? Right, that would be kind of a pathos, the way we usually think of it. Does not have to be sad emotions, though. The use of humor is considered pathos because it manipulates the emotions as well. Making somebody laugh can go a long way. I know in some of your all's opening paragraphs that you wrote, I actually found myself laughing, and definitely it's an effective tool to get your reader involved. Lots of other emotions you can manipulate too. So the first little section of the end of chapter 1 deals with pathos. Then we go into ethos, which would be ethics. Usually when we think of that, we think about celebrity endorsements of things. See, example that comes to mind right now, Shaquille O'Neal. I don't think there's a commercial on television that he is not in. And some of them make sense. Say, Icy Hot, right? Shaquille O'Neal hawking Icy Hot kind of makes sense. He's an old guy, older than me even, and when you get a little bit old, you wake up and everything hurts, right? Especially if you were athletic in your life. All of those injuries wake you up in the morning, especially if it's cold out, things like that. But anyway, it makes sense for a former athlete to be selling Icy Hot, right? Car insurance, I don't know about. Kind of weird. But yeah, celebrity endorsements, they talk about that with ethos. The chapter we'll be reading on ethos focuses mainly on how you, as a student writer, can employ ethos in your writing. Even though we're not technically experts on any of the material that we'll be talking about for the most part, we do have some of our own experience we can draw from. We also have the ability to research well and research correctly and consider all sides of the argument at hand, which is why we were talking about straw man, things like that the other day. And also, believe it or not, grammar. Grammar and mechanics go a long way to establish your ethos as a student writer. People can see that you're worth listening to, that you've taken the time and that you respect your readers enough to really put forth the work to produce good writing, right? Anyways, that's ethos. That'll be introduced as well. And finally, logos, which would be logic, appealing to people's logic. And we'll talk about lots of ways to do that. We kind of want to say when we do once a year we have to do teacher reviews where your principal or maybe somebody from central office kind of comes and sits in your room and fills out a report on things that you do well, things you could work on. They always say that those are scored like 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? 4 being the highest. They always want to say that if you are kind of grading yourself, you don't want to give yourself all 4s because everybody has room to grow with everything. So I think Mr. Yost actually usually says you want to live at 3 and occasionally visit 4, right? So when we're talking about logos, we kind of want to live in logos. We want to mostly appeal to people's logic in our arguments. We want it to be common sense. There's that. We also want facts and figures, and facts with a capital F and underlined and indisputable, and use our research to show factual information. And then we want to visit in those other things, ethos and pathos. So anyway, the end of this chapter kind of introduces those 3 things, along with one that you may not have heard of, called Kairos. Kairos, named after a mythological being that has a little, I don't know what hairstyle you would call that. It's sort of the opposite of a rat tail. Like a rat tail is just the big long hair that comes off the back of the head. He had a kind of a coming off the front deal, right? And he was supposed to represent seizing the moment as it goes by. So that's what a kairos basically is that in any good argument, you want to present that argument while the iron is hot, if that makes sense, while the debate is strong and it's still out there. If we had written a paragraph about the use of NTI days back in September, that wouldn't be very timely, right? Nobody's fired up about it, everything like that. Nobody's discussing it. But if we do it now, as we did the other day, that's kairos. That's talking about something while it's actually going on, while people are discussing that out in the world. So, pathos, feelings, ethos, ethics, logos, logic, and then kairos, timeliness. So at the end of the chapter kind of just introduces those ideas. We will have separate chapters regarding pathos, ethos, and logos. I think this is the only time that kairos is mentioned, but it is important. So anyways, there'll be just a few questions regarding those things, and that closes out chapter 1. And between your 3 sets of questions, that's actually Morehead State University's first reading quiz. So we've tackled that while on NTI. Anyway, so if we are on NTI, just look out for the last couple questions, and they'll be pretty basic. It's not anything too awfully bad. We'll talk about all of that when we get back in person, which again, I would be surprised if I'm actually posting this video this morning. But if for any reason we are on NTI, I assume it would be the last time for a while that we're on NTI. Our road is just as clean as a whistle out here. I know up on the mountain I've seen pictures, so you never know. But anyways, watch out for those last few questions. I'll be compiling those 3 sets into a kind of spreadsheet form, and we're going to call that reading quiz number 1 with a capital Q, right? I will be giving you points for each of the 3 things, but we're going to call all 3 of them together quiz, like Morehead quiz, the official one, and then we'll be in good shape. Again, make sure you get caught up on everything. I'm surprised if I'm posting this video, if it's NTI day number 7. I would be aghast if tomorrow we have another one. So you do want to make sure to get caught up on all NTI related stuff for days 5, 6. I guess it was 5, 6, and was it 7? 4, 5, 6? 4. It was 4, 5, and 6 last week, and then 7 today. Then I guess if you are seeing this video, I guess it's day 8. But anyway, make sure you get everything all caught up and squared away. If you have any questions on the questions, once again, let me know, and hopefully tomorrow I'll actually get a good idea of what you people look like, right? So anyway, we'll see you later.